Welcome to the audio experience of KimberlySueIverson.com, a redhead rewriting reality and multi-genre author. I am your host, Kimberly Sue Iverson, and today I'll be sharing with you a story that's close to my heart. If you prefer to read along or explore more stories, visit my website at KimberlySueIverson.com. This audio experience is for an adult audience. Themes and topics may not be appropriate or suitable for all audiences, so listener and viewer discretion is advised. Now, get yourself comfy as we dive into today's tale. Missing those no longer there. Okay, let's see if I can finish this, at least to get it up by Wednesday. I will have my hands full all week with dog baths in case of meet and greets for a potential landlord, on top of packing for donating and moving. So the audio may take a bit longer, which is why I warned long ago, and I will do a reminder for new folks. With the audio, I try to ensure it's up on time for the Wednesday blog post. But because it requires recording it, editing, then uploading and publishing, and including all the information in the description boxes, it could be anywhere from Wednesday to Friday it's up on sites and linked on these posts. I've been doing well at getting the audio up early for these posts to go out, but like last week's audio, I had to re-record the entire thing, edit, then upload and publish that same day because the audio had issues, some weird skip and fast forward happening, glitches essentially. Fortunately, it was such a short audio that it worked in my favor. And for those who are new, I truly welcome you and thank you for subscribing. I have noticed my Spotify subscribers increasing, so hi. If you're on Spotify, you can look up Redhead Rewriting Reality and you will find the podcast. If you are on YouTube, it is Kimber Bites. Remember too that if you have a story you're happy to share, feel free to contact me at stories2read@KimberlySueIverson.com. That's stories2read@KimberlySueIverson.com. It can be a story you wrote, a family story, something funny, anything goes, as long as it isn't vulgar and likely to get me thrown off sites. So, common sense and all. Also, if you are new and don't know what is happening or just started to follow, my brother and I are being forced to sell our home because of a reverse mortgage our mother did. I'm not going into details around everything, but our mom was a hoarder, so there is a lot to go through. We lucked out on the two who are buying the house in that they are helping us find a rental, negotiate, move, and more. Everything will really start to pick up in the next month or so, but I am not a procrastinator, and because of all the pain and weakness I still deal with from being a caregiver to my mom for all this time, it's better if I steadily work on everything a little at a time versus trying to do a massive amount daily. As I explained to someone, my biggest issue is that there is a point my body reaches where it just says done. My energy dumps and it's a struggle to even get back upstairs if I'm downstairs. It's gotten a lot better so I can do more. But it's a slow process, and I have to use the energy wisely. I work with it now versus against it. One way I do is having given up all working out. No yoga either. I sit and rest to rebuild stamina, and then I get up, use the time I can, then sit down and rest again. It doesn't help that it's winter. Coffee, I have mentioned, is a huge benefit for my body. Without it, I am far stiffer. Just imagine watching an 80-year-old get up and down. How I look when the energy depletes. Isn't fun. I mentioned it last week in the post about listening and using the body's natural rhythm. I work with my body, not against it. Many have heard me discuss it and been silly enough to say I just needed to stretch more. If you can raise your right arm above your head, feel free to stretch. Now imagine you try and can't raise it past shoulder height without razor blades running down the arm. Bear in mind redheads and the natural pain tolerance too. I know my body. I know what it's capable of. I'm not this lazy slouch. Most feeling how I do may not even want to move, but I do. When I can, how I can. I come from a background of athletics. All my life, I have been super active and sporty. I worked out a few times a day, weights, walking, you name it. This is not a lazy body. The strength is inside of me, locked away, which is so odd how that works. All that built up muscle is in there. It's just unable to be tapped into right now. It's amazing how the body works. Anyway, I came across this question on this site that I joined a while ago. And when I answered it for the guy, I started to ponder on it. Shocker, I know. A lot of people seemed to enjoy the answer I gave too, which made me think on it more and want to use it for a blog. It's something we all deal with, and gosh knows I have with one particular person. The question, what do you do when you miss your ex? My answer, replay why we ended. I might miss the good parts, but then I remind myself why we ended, and wait out the feeling. Eventually it will ease. And in parentheses I added, only the recent ex where it's still new. I don't feel that for past ones. Another guy asked, on top of that, does that really help? I've been doing all of that, and all it does is piss me off, because I'm remembering how she treated me more than anything else. To which I answered, I won't purposely do it until the moments that I miss them, more if I want to reach out. There's anger there sometimes, because it's still processing through you. I'll still have moments like that too. Work through why it is that you're still mad. Think it through a lot. Sometimes the anger masks something else. Put a label to the emotion. Are you really mad or disappointed you trusted her? Disappointed and sad things didn't work out. Try to delve deeper. My anger usually stems from those spaces. I'm disappointed it didn't work out. Disappointed I didn't see the red flags. Sad that I still feel something at times I shouldn't. That might help. I really started to think about all of that a lot. Far too many make it seem as if you shouldn't miss your person, or that you shouldn't bother to do anything but be mad, move on, and live your life. Revenge glow-ups, anyone? But the reality is, this person played a huge part in our lives. No amount of anger, sadness, or otherwise will help us just get over it. Whether you've known that person for a minute or years and years. If you felt a connection and emotionally attached, It will cause pain to lose them from your life and existence. When we emotionally attach to someone, more so if we had this idea that they'd be our forever person, which is what I felt with my last one, then having that taken away is going to hurt. It is going to cause a lot of feelings. They can be an abusive individual to the point that some would make it seem off if we missed them. But the reality of that is that we may. It's normal. It's natural. It's perfectly okay. You don't miss the abuse in a situation like that. You don't miss the anger, the crazy behavior. You miss the person. You miss the good parts, the positive feelings they made you feel. You miss the connection, the companionship. You miss their laugh or whatever else it could be. That's nothing we need to chastise ourselves over. It's nothing we should be made to feel bad about. We also can't rush those things. If we were just getting to know someone and then they ghost us, that too is perfectly okay to feel things around and to take time in accepting the loss and moving on. The person who asked this question, I believe also specifically, was thinking around the urge to reach out if it came up, which is why I said I allow those feelings to pass through me. It's perfectly normal to miss a person who'd been in your life. You may not actually miss that specific person as much as the feelings they invoked in you, or any number of reasons specific to you. It also doesn't mean it's something we need to react to. I can't even tell you how many times I wanted to reach out to the most recent ex. And no, not the one who raped me. I have never in my life missed him or my first boyfriend. I have missed others, friends lost, more than those two. When I was younger, I used to think I had to react to those feelings. I used to believe if I missed them, I should reach out. No. Often we may have that urge because we hope something comes of it. We hope that maybe there will be this romantic notion of a rekindling. The reality is that it probably won't happen that way, and we're wanting to do it with a massive load of expectations. It ended for a reason that maybe we just don't see right now. Why reach out to the one who broke us to have them break us again? We're hoping to achieve something more with reaching out than, oh, I miss this person and just want to say hi. Oh? So if they don't respond, how would you feel? Because if you say that you wouldn't care and did it, I bet you'd care. I bet you'd feel insulted or hurt or otherwise and wonder why they didn't. And on it would go. I know this because I have been there. It's been a rare circumstance with someone where I did reach out that I truly didn't care that they didn't respond. Because younger me had this idea that I didn't care until I tried it. Many will sit there too and simply say they're an ex for a reason. My life is way better. Okay, if you don't ever miss them or ever reach out or never have gone back to an ex, then this is obviously not going to apply to you. I would imagine you are a rare sampling that you didn't for one moment miss your ex. I keep using ex, but again, this could just be a friend or someone you were getting to know, a date you'd been seeing for a while, a wife or husband, or any other application that it fits you. I'm only using general terms here with regard to the original question. Use what fits you personally. It's like that other guy who'd discussed the anger we also go through. When I'm not missing him in those certain moments, I do still occasionally feel that anger well. It's not as hardcore. I'm not naturally like that, so if I do feel anger, it may be temporary. If I do feel it, though, oh boy, there is nothing sweet and gentle about my temper. So when I feel the anger rise, it can be vicious inside of me. This be why, when I feel that way, I don't really want to talk to anyone. I still have to control it. I have been prone to blackout rages. I don't ever want to put that on another person. So if I ever warn you to back off, or you sense I back off, that is why. I will not give way to those feelings. I will not allow my system to think it's an okay feeling to rise constantly, and it will be rewarded, so it continues. It will achieve nothing for that emotion until I can calm and communicate better later. The thing with anger, though, is that it masks other emotions we have. There are reasons we're feeling the anger. It's just easier to label an emotion as I'm mad. Why, though? Delve deeper. I'm frustrated that blank. Okay, what's beneath the frustration? Why are you frustrated? Because I don't have control. What's below that? I am afraid. There's the real emotion. Fear. A baseline of fear, of loss of control, of being vulnerable, of whatever else my mind is not conjuring when I think of whatever scenario is in my head that is giving me all of this. Often we're not really mad and angry about something. We are afraid or sad or lonely or whatever else we feel. That deep down is a weaker and more vulnerable sensation, whereas anger is powerful. It can shut down, be mad, hateful, and ensure that person is hurt too, because I am mad. If it helps you process, understand to allow that too. Don't judge yourself and shame yourself. It does ourselves no good. Let it process. Let it heal. Let it pass on by. We just don't have to react to it. But also beneath that anger, we just feel fear and vulnerability. We think that's weak, though. We've been taught that it is. We've been taught that we shouldn't just say, I miss this person, or admit, I feel bad that I trusted them. It hurts that they took advantage of me. It hurts that they abused me. I am afraid of being alone forever. Feelings could come up that really has nothing to do with them too. It could stem from childhood wounds that are activated. Whenever we miss someone, anyone really, that we maybe shouldn't reach out to who is in the past for a reason, many emotions and thoughts could come up. We may want to reach out to rekindle. I am no longer against that if it's genuinely something I want to do. Do you know how I know if it is? I wait. I patiently allow the feelings to well and get me into that I have to do it state that sometimes we will feel around those emotions. And then I patiently wait a day or more until it calms down. I analyze the feelings as well to see if I'm sensing something wrong, if I was deeply and closely connected to the person for a long time, or it's just something inside of me. It's never been about them. It was always about me. And when I paused and take the time to reflect and be patient, often that feeling fades away. When it doesn't, however, and it's been a week or more and it still haunts me in the background, I might finally reach out. Usually it's not an ex I do that with. It'll be someone I've connected with for whatever reason. It's rare, too, that I will reach back out. I allow one time to try before I go nopes. I allow that internal system to guide me for so much of what I do. Once you begin listening to your gut and see where to follow those instincts and where not, it becomes easier. I describe it as a push, a soft, whispering push. I'll feel this pressure within me that is quiet and gentle, that says to take action on what I'm feeling or considering. It has to push quite a bit for me to listen to it too, but it has never failed me. It is not wrong to miss an ex. It is not wrong to miss the way they made you feel. It's not even wrong to reach out if you do. Every single one of us has their own thoughts, their own feelings, their own life experiences. We are not all carbon copies, where everything works always all the time in the exact same way. Never do I say anything that is one and done. This is the only way. This is the way that'll heal all. I discuss things I've dealt with and have generally seen work, but my energy path and what works for me may also not fit yours. Maybe it's just something that helps you reflect. Always understand that none of us, sorry, but not even a therapist, has the exact formula specific to you. It's why often some will have to try different therapists until they find the right fit. Or others like me never benefit from one because I don't connect the same way as another. I need a person to bounce thoughts off of at times, but I could benefit from one random stranger popping up at the right time that gave me exactly what I needed to hear at the time. I don't need someone to know me well to help me. I don't need someone explaining to me how to handle situations, because given a minute, I figure it out on my own because of what I said. The internal gut system that guides me, I have honed it well. People argue that is the point. You sometimes need another person to help you. I could spend 5 minutes talking to a chatbot and still receive the same help. I get it. Most people do need what is pushed. A sounding board, another person, another whatever. I have my best friend for it when I need someone who knows me and who does not mince her words. I have others I can turn to when I need that certain help. Not all of us are the exact same, so not all of us work with the same methods as everyone else. Until you have spent time around me and truly deeply talked to me, it won't be evident. You'll read or listen to these blogs, see the posts on social media, and guess you know exactly what is going on in my mind. Hate to break it to some, but sometimes the posts on socials are just to mess with algorithms cataloging information around me. Some are just based on marketing my work with a post that shares the theme of a book I have. Same as the information I dropped here and there, because I know that there are worm crawlers compiling data. How do I? My mom used to constantly pay for that stuff. So I'm apparently married too, I have discovered. If anyone can kindly point him out, I would appreciate that. It's how I learned to randomly drop misguided information. So if anyone truly wants to know me, they have to learn me personally, not through a search online. Some of that information is bogus. You're welcome. The best advice anyone ever gives is just to be yourself. You were not put here to follow what everyone else does. I know that is a cliched term. I know that often what we do leads to pain or leads to good things. You are human and figuring life out. Congratulations. People like me, you, us, we learn these things to have the experience of that mistake to learn from, so we then can turn around and give the knowledge to another who may need it. Some things we do won't be good. Some will be. Have you noticed that even with the best therapists in the world, all the money in the world, all the best of everything, that some still are screwed up, traumatized, figuring life out, messing up even after going through a life of those best of things? Because we're human and we will mess up. It is simply what comes along with life. Even a therapist who works with narcissists may find themselves a victim of one, as I've heard them admit. None of us are perfect, have everything figured out, and know all the things. We are messy, silly, sometimes broken or fragile things. We are all human. We also go through many learning moments that many would call mistakes. It's only a mistake if you didn't learn a thing from it. If you learned, you can be an ear for another when they experience it, or offer your knowledge to another who needs it. And I so don't mean those quote-unquote educators we encounter who have massive amounts of information to offer us, and not a single friggin' bit of compassion. So dump all their wonderful knowledge on us from high up on their mighty horse. Because compassion isn't the same as empathy. It's not the same as tangibly helping someone. I saw a great thing on Instagram the other night where the guy said, don't ask your depressed friends how they're holding up and what you can do for them. That's another decision for them to make. Another pressure upon them. Just offer to help with something you know they need. As a neighbor had done for me, she just dropped off food and texted me she did, so I wouldn't have to cook after we lost our mom. She thought of including tissues and hot cocoa, a coloring book to get the mind off stuff. Tangible, real help. Not judgment, not demands. Learned knowledge and compassion thrown in the mix. Because again, we are human beings. Fragile, broken, learning, and yes, we are meant to be kind and love one another, even when it hurts us at times. It's just the human experience. Sometimes we don't need to be made to further feel bad. Why do you think I will even messily write up these blogs and leave in errors in the audio? I am not perfect, and I will never create a brand around it. I screw up royally. Someone will say with their nose in the air that I should be more professional, put my best face forward. I spent most of my life doing that. I became so ingrained not to mess up even a tiny bit that I would get extreme anxiety just for saying the wrong word when speaking. Blushing, internal system going haywire. My mother would royally put me down for any slight wrong. So now, I am emulating often what I want people to see and understand. We are not perfect. I'm not a robot. And you know who loves us being real? The entire world. People don't want replicas. They don't want perfect. They want vulnerable, human, raw us. We simply need to understand our emotions, and how we deal with things can be a general way others do, but are also unique to each of us. So not all advice will apply to every single person. But one thing is universal, I think, and that is our capacity to offer love to a person, which is to tell them it's okay to miss your ex. It's okay to want that back. It's okay even if it were an abusive person. You're not missing the abuse. You're missing the way you felt. It takes time to process the loss, those feelings, and so much of that. It's okay to mess the hell up 1,000,000 times and just keep going. You went through it. You learned. You grew from it. And if you're like me, you may have to go through it quite a bit more to really learn that stubborn lesson you haven't. Or not. Hopefully not. More to come. Thank you for reading and subscribing, or listening in this case. I know how valuable your time is, so it means so much that you are here, and I'm beyond grateful you chose to spend this time with me. What are your thoughts? Engage with me and start a conversation. Just don't be rude about it. And as always, your shares are so incredibly appreciated. Share with anyone you think may enjoy it. Word of mouth is the best form of expanding the reach, so this reaches the eyes and ears of whoever may enjoy it. My donation link, if you'd like to support this and help keep it going, is ko-fi.com/Kimberly Sue Iverson. That's ko-fi.com/Kimberly Sue Iverson. Every little bit helps, so thank you for your generosity. Remember, apparition weavers, everyone is fighting battles inside nobody can see. Who are you willing to see today? And who are you willing to let see you today? If you'd like a chance for your story to be read and featured, get in touch at storiestoried@KimberlySueIverson.com. A new episode and blog is dropped every Wednesday on KimberlySueIverson.com or on YouTube under Kimber Bites. That's KimberBites, Kimber Bites.